'cause we got so much history. Here with you is where I'm meant to be. Even after all the pain, I do it all again. 'Cause we got so much history. We got so much history. Wrapped up in these memories.
Yes, people, welcome back to another stream on DJ SINCLAIRO. Today is the FA Cup Round 4 review. We haven't done an FA Cup stream before, so it's good to get the content up. Obviously, the Premier League wasn't on the weekend, it was the FA Cup, and I thought I'd do a stream because people were asking when my next stream was, so I thought I'd do one. So it's a bit different instead of the Premier League ones, but yeah, before I do start adding the guests, of course, we've got guests. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're new. We're 3 away from 1,040, so that's big. And then the big game is 1.4 or 1.1k, and then hopefully by the end of the year we can get 2k. But yeah, as I said, we've got I think we're expecting someone later, and someone does have to leave early, so there might be a replacement for him. But yeah, we've got a debut today, and we've got returning guests and obviously regulars as well. So let me introduce my first person. He's making his debut. It's weird he's taking his debut because he's been around for a while. He's been in the comments and stuff. You may know him from Red Sox football. He's a Man United fan. We've got 3 United fans in the thing. They're taking over streams. Hardeep, how you doing?
Yes, that's Ollie. An absolute pleasure to be here
Yes,
with the debut for your channel as well, DJ
Yeah.
SINCLAIRO. I mean, absolutely fantastic
Yeah.
channel. I mean, I hope you keep up, bro.
Yep. Okay, let's introduce my next guest now. He's returning. He's been away for a few streams. Arsenal fan, you all know him. It is Manny. How you doing, Manny?
Yeah, all good, Ollie. And
Yeah.
as I always say, jolly Ollie. Good to have you. Good to be back here. Good to see you again. And obviously, given my some other commitments, I haven't been able to make many of your streams. But today, obviously, I don't think I have anything else on my agenda. Actually, there was another person who wanted me to be on his stream at this time, but I said no, I can't make it. I've already made a commitment, so I hope you can appreciate that. And the FA Cup, what can I say? Arsenal once again knocked out.
Yeah.
It's as if, the FA Cup has become a little bit of, I don't want to say it's sort of like a small red herring or anything like that. But apparently the attitude of many Arsenal fans is that, if you want to make an omelette, you've got to break an egg. And our omelette coming up is a potential Premiership win. But again, nothing is guaranteed, and it just goes to show that until you actually have a guarantee of winning something, you can't make any assumptions. But the FA Cup is the FA Cup. It's still one of the most sought after tournaments in world club football. Definitely, a huge pride of a huge item of pride among English football fans. We are still the team which has the most FA Cup wins.
Yes.
But we still have to make sure that we, treat it seriously and make sure that we have a good squad of competent players who can treat it seriously, but also a manager who respects the competition. And rant over. I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
Yeah.
Let's introduce
Yeah, it's
everyone.
fine. Yeah, next guest, he's another returning guest. He hasn't been in the streams for a while. Another Man United fan. It is Toby. How you doing, Toby? You there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
good. So it's a pleasure being around, making my second appearance, I think.
Yeah. I think second or third. Yeah, second.
Yeah.
Finally, we are expecting another guest. So he might be late, he said, but you all know him, regular on the channel, host of Red Sox Football. It is Arrest.
Big up, man. Big up, everyone. You love my profile picture, United fans. Do you love it? But yeah, obviously, big up, man. Great to be back on the channel as always.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, get those likes up, man.
Yeah.
Get those likes up.
Yeah, we're currently on 7 likes, so get it up. Let's get to 10 likes. So yeah, we got United fans taking over, so we might as well start with it. Obviously, they're playing tonight, so we might preview. I don't know, but yeah, Man United with a 3-1 victory over Reading. They're through to the 5th round. We're playing West Ham, who beat Derby. We could talk about that game as well. Hardy, debut on the channel. Do you want to start off with obviously you win against Reading? What are your thoughts on the game?
I think overall it was a very, very intense game. I mean, the thing is, we're Reading, they're very compact on the points as well. I mean, it was really, really, really integral game, and overall for him to return to Old Trafford is great gesture for him to actually get absolutely positive outcomes from fans. And I feel for us throughout the game, we were dominant in our transitions, and fortunately, losing Christian Eriksen, our most important player in the midfield, alongside with Casemiro and Bruno as well, it just derailed our season, really. I mean, now we got Sabitzer by the looks of it, and he will make a really, really vital addition to our side. So I think overall we deserved a win. We were really aggressive in and around the box, especially in defence as well. Except for seeing that goal, I thought our defence should have done better with like Maguire, then North, Wan-Bissaka, Malacia to a certain degree as well. He's a newcomer player as well. So I think for us, it's definitely confidence booster, and under Erik ten Hag, we are definitely progressing on the trajectory.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to arrests now. What are your thoughts on the game?
Emily Carroll, man, you're a disgrace. Because for me, listen, you didn't even get a book, man. That's why I'm pissed off. You didn't get a book. I know we got a red card overall, but you didn't even get no booking. VAR looked at it. I don't know if VAR looked at it or not, but it's a disgrace, man. It's honestly a disgrace. But listen, good for your own win. It's just Casemiro showing why he's the best CDM in the world. Casemiro, that second goal, you can't tell me that was not a good goal. What a goal! Literally, I screamed. My voice is still gone right now.
Outside the box as well. Outside the box from out 35 yards out. Absolute exceptional goal. Absolutely.
Yeah. My voice is ready for tonight to scream even more because we're going to Birmingham, and I know that. We know it. United fans know that. But good for you on win. Obviously, points. He got. I'm surprised he got a good reception. He got a very good reception at Old Trafford. So, as Hardy said, Reading were compact, but we beat them. We faced West Ham. I'm more confident of beating West Ham now because David Moyes' record at Old Trafford is so poor. But listen, good win. And we move on, man. We're still on 4 competitions. Unlike Arsenal, but yeah.
And then Toby, the last United fan, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, it was a very, very exciting game to watch. Looking at the quality, there was quality all around the pitch. Obviously, Reading wasn't close to our match, the kind of quality we have. But the good thing is that I think you look at the positives. The lads were energetic and they played with purpose. They did not undermine the competition and say it's FA Cup, so we have to slack. No, the mentality was you win every game, and it was good to see them play with purpose. And of course, Anthony has been for a while. I think he has been criticized for poor gameplay, but there were bits of positives in his game. He gave Casemiro that fantastic assist. He was actually in the game. Unfortunately, Eriksen got injured in the game, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But overall, Manchester United played fantastically well. We dominated them all through the whole game. Unfortunately, we conceded a goal, but it's football. Your opponent will find a way to score.
Moving on to Man United now. As a neutral, what are your thoughts on this game, Man United 3-1 against Reading?
Well, I didn't see the game, and actually the biggest thing that was on my mind was that Paul Ince deserved his warm welcome when he went back to Old Trafford. I know that there are a lot of people, certainly a lot of fans, who don't have time for Paul Ince, and I know that one of them still considers him to be a bit of an arrogant so-and-so. But it's not for nothing they say that time heals all wounds, and obviously not too long after Ince's career ended as a player and he started to play his career as a manager, Ferguson also made it a point to take the initiative in mending fences with Ince because he valued Ince as a valued member of that squad which broke their league championship duck in 1993. And Paul Ince, of course, had things worked out differently. He would almost certainly have enjoyed a 10-year career, potentially have become full-time England captain himself. But, c'est la vie, and it all goes on. And the Reading team in question, it was sad about that team because they were a team that was looking really good to, challenge for promotion. But a huge slump since then has seen them I hear quite a bit of laughing. I'm not too sure what's going on.
It's because big up Manny. The world wants you to know you're replacing Peter Dury. If you need the deal to be done, we can get Bowley to help you guys.
JPT, brother, thank you so much for that. Listen, I think I can speak for a lot of us when I say that when it comes to, I mean, with all due respect to Peter Drury, he is a really, I'm sure he's a really lovely fellow.
Oh,
but
he's fantastic.
you know, when it comes to commentary, sometimes, you know, I guess basically he allows himself at times to be overawed by the situation. But you know, I grew up obviously listening to the likes of John Motson, Brian Moore, the early Martin Tyler rather, and then of course,
FIFA
you know, Ian Dark and a few others. Look, I'm never going to replace Peter Drury. Obviously, he's a fine person. He obviously has been given the opportunity to do as well as he has. Certainly, John Helm is a legend as well, and he's now, you know, doing some other things as well. Still doing a little bit of commentary whenever he can. But listen, let me if there is an opportunity to do this for some channel, I'll look into it. But that's not really on my mind at the moment. And back to what I was going to say, the Reading team in question have had a huge slump, which has put them more or less in a mid-table position. I don't see them getting relegated with many worse teams in the Championship than them. But it's sad what's happened to them in many ways. I do think Paul Ince has come a long way as a manager, but this slump wouldn't have helped him in any way. And they do have a squad which can certainly, you know, where when put together can certainly challenge for bigger and better things. It's just a question of the slump happening at the wrong time. And I think Andy Carroll, he was never anyone's cup of tea when he was playing in the Premiership, not even when he was playing for England. And I think that challenge on Ericsson was, from what I saw of it, was definitely quite a poor one. And
it was very malicious. It was very malicious as well. I mean, she was red card straight away, though.
2-footed as well, man. What's going on? 2-footed.
Yeah, and you know, a guy of his experience should definitely have known better. He should have been given a sending off. But knowing Paul Ince as well as I do, he might have you know, harshly disciplined Carroll and you know, dropped him for that because, you know, I know that Ince was a combative midfielder, but even he was smart enough to know that a 2-footed tackle was bang out of order. But a decent win for Manchester United, and especially given that they're playing the second leg of their semi-final against Nottingham Forest in the EFL Cup. While I always say that it isn't over until it's over, a 3-0 lead, even against a team like Forest, which have done well brilliantly in reaching the semi-finals and have done quite well this season, I don't see them coming back, not even if Lingard's on better form. And even if Dean Henderson had been eligible to play, it would have made absolutely no difference. But yeah, good win for Manchester United. They're through to the next round of the FA Cup. And I think they should have enough about them to make sure that they reach the next stage, because I'm sure Ten Hag, especially after the draw against Crystal Palace and the loss to Arsenal, will tell his players to take it a lot more seriously. And it looks as though Mr. Sinclair has gone missing. But
so, right, who's going to host though? Who's going to host?
But there's one question I would like to possibly ask though, because you know, with Ericsson gone, so our Manchester United fans, now we have 3 of them, all of you. You still have Fred, you still have Casemiro, you still have Scott McTominay. And
Sabitzer as well.
You also signed Sabitzer. I just want to ask you what you guys think of him. I think Oris seems to like him, given that he's made him his profile icon.
I love him, man. I love him.
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
I joke because he's in the back room.
But
we've got another guest. Big up, Joel. How you doing, Joel?
Yo.
Hello. As I was saying, it's a bit
3 United fans, 3 Arsenal fans. Yeah, go ahead, Oris.
It's a bit for me. It's a stopgap, man. Short term. There's no obligation to buy or buy option. So it's a very good signing, man. I'm happy, man. What he gives us, I'm gonna say make the statement. I think he gives us more what Ericsson gives us, in my opinion. So if you look at, he's very versatile. He can play as number 6, number 8, number 10. He can play on the wing. I see. So he's very versatile, man. Very good option. This is a smart, obviously, very late. obviously Murto coming out saying we've always looked at him. Yeah, shush me. But yeah, listen, good signing, man. Very good signing, in my opinion.
So Sabitzer do Sabits on the pitch.
Yeah, he's gonna do some bits against Palace this Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on now. Hardeep is
Well,
after
what?
going a bit.
Yeah, yeah, how do
What?
yeah,
You going to say anything?
what's
Yeah.
some- yeah.
We
Hello,
usually start
performance.
with the Arsenal
What were
fans
you
on
doing,
this,
no?
but
Mm,
what?
Ollie,
What?
Manny wanted the United fans to talk about Sabitzer before you went.
All right, we'll
We
talk about
joined back.
Spitz for a minute.
No,
Yeah, before-
I asked you. I
Oh.
asked some one of you. Oreston
Oh,
said
right.
No, I
it.
want to hear Hardeep,
Um,
man. I want to hear Hardeep because he's
I
very
don't
good.
remind us
Okay.
for either. I mean, it's fair. I think with the signing additionally to our midfield, it'll definitely rejuvenate. And with a bit surprised move to Bayern Munich, he was arguably one of the most dynamic players in Europe. And I think with the signing, Ten Hag definitely knows him from his obsessiveness of the Bundesliga. And I think with Sabitzer, he'll obviously have ball carrying ability, ball capability of shooting, and also what's that noise?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, stop now. Yeah, stop now. So.
Oh,
Let me just delve into his qualities. So he's got amazing qualities such as his versatility, ball carrying ability. He's got a fantastic engine, and also he's very very intelligent in and around the box. He's an actually
Yeah.
competent shooter, and also I think some of his work rate to actually recycle possession and also regain the ball. His actual tendency to actually tackle. I think it will be really systematic to one midfield, and he will definitely flourish and also rejuvenate it.
Yeah.
So fantastic
very
player.
good. Very good. Toby, you're next.
Yeah. He's underrated, obviously, but you look at his quality, what he can offer, and you look at Leipzig, RB Leipzig. You know, look at the system, the kind of football they play. You know, his counter press. You know, and the work rate is superb. You know, like Hadif said, he's a fantastic lad. So very exciting, and Eric Ten Hag's system. You know, you counter press. You know, what do you do when you are without the ball? That's a question, and you have to press. You have to make sure you take the ball off your opponent, and I think that is the dynamism Sabitzer can offer to the club or to the team. You know, his work rate is superb, and he's good with the ball. You know, he has good vision. You know, he can actually assist. The attackers in terms of gameplay and all of that. So he's a good lad. He's a good lad, and of course he's underrated. For gone are the days when Manchester United falls for big names, but we need competent players who know what they're exactly supposed to do. And Sabitzer is that kind of player, so he can play six, like he said, like Ora said. You know, he's versatile when it comes to in the middle of the park. You know, he can play as a defensive midfielder if we need him. You know, he can play as a central midfielder, and of course, he can play attacking. So we have a lot of options in our hands moving forward.
Brilliant.
brilliant. Yeah. Manny, did you finish what you were saying about the United
Yeah,
game?
I did. I did.
Okay.
I said everything I wanted
Yeah.
to say, and we can move on.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously talking about the United game, I usually do start off with the Arsenal games, but we'll talk about this second. So yeah, unfortunately, Arsenal. Oh, Joel's gone. I don't know. He'll come back. Yeah, Arsenal suffering the defeat to Man City. We'll start off with Manny, and then we'll go to Hardeep because he does have to go. Manny, what was your thoughts on the game? Arsenal obviously defeat Man City. Yeah, right there.
This was supposed to be a test of our squad and the mettle that we had, but also in some ways a test to see if Arteta was serious enough to be a manager that would, take the competition seriously, and he failed on all counts. I believe before the match he made it crystal clear that he wanted to reward a few players with some minutes, and with the exception of one or two who did quite well. Quite a few of those players never really justified it. I'm looking at the likes of Fabio Vieira, who, aside from one chance in the second half, which ended up being completely shanked wide, was anonymous throughout the whole game. Bukayo Saka, it must be said, was completely anonymous on the right wing, and he made Nathan Ake, the makeshift left back, look better than he actually was. And of course, as Manchester United fans will gleefully know, Ake has been the beneficiary of a huge bust-up between João Cancelo who has now gone to Bayern Munich, and a certain Pep Guardiola. But Matt Turner as well had a really good game, one of our best players. Kieran Tierney started the match and did a really good job keeping Riyad Mahrez quiet. And certainly, he's the type of person who defends very well and can, obviously overlap quite beautifully. But, with Zinchenko coming on later on, it's also another indication of why Zinchenko is preferred to start these days, because he aids that transition from defense into attack. And we started with two first-teamers in our midfield in Xhaka and Partey, but Partey looked anonymous and then had to go off with a bruised rib, I believe. And Granit Xhaka basically proved that unless he's got Partey with him, he can look a little bit anonymous. And then another disappointing game for Edward Nketiah. Our new signing, Leandro Trossard, started and looked really good in the 60-odd minutes that he was on. He should never have been taken off for Martinelli. I would have liked to see him get brought off for Martinelli. And again, the Aki goal, which won it, was really down to some pretty poor defending. Tomiyasu should be blamed for not being more aggressive on Grealish, and what Saliba was doing backing away from the Nathan Aki shot, I have no idea. It was just a case of tactically Arteta getting a few things wrong. He should have he should never have played Saka, should have given him a rest and offered to play either Nelson or Marquinhos. Marquinhos, of course, is now gone to Norwich on loan, but that was, of course, after the game. And there were so many things which he could definitely have done a little bit differently, especially in terms of the substitutions. But it was a disappointing game, and it was an opportunity to prove that we were at least serious about trying to mount a challenge for the FA Cup, and we failed to do that. And this is the third FA Cup in succession that we've gone out at a fairly early stage after winning the trophy so magnificently in Arteta's first half season. So a lot of people are saying it's good that we've exited the FA Cup. As wonderful a tournament as it is, we got bigger fish to fry in terms of winning the league. But, and I will stop speaking so that Hardy can come on. But good teams will never, take any match for granted. And good teams will never assume that any competition is completely won. Good teams have to make it a point to make sure that every game is prioritized, and that means having a good quality squad of the level of Manchester City, or at least up there or thereabouts, to make sure that we can challenge for as many trophies as possible. And the fact that we can simply pick and choose what tournaments we can prioritize, we did that last season, and just failed to miss out on we just missed out on the Champions League. So do we have any guarantee that we'll win the Premiership despite being 5 points clear of Manchester City with a game in hand? We have no guarantees. And this means that now the onus is on the team to make sure it does better in the league games, and especially in the light of the window we had where we really only made 3 decent, worthwhile signings. If you can call them decent, that is. I mean, Trossard is quality. I do like Kieran.
Jorginho's decent.
Yeah.
He's not.
You could say, with Jorginho, there's no doubt that he has some enduring quality, but, for Chelsea to be willing to dispense with him, despite the fact that he was, until recently, their vice captain, I mean, why would Chelsea want to just, dispense of him when they know that his experience and leadership, especially with the likes of Azpilicueta and Thiago Silva, I mean, Thiago Silva's still playing really well, but he is pushing 40. Azpilicueta's best days are behind him. So who can possibly lead that team? But I think Jorginho will feel that he has a point to prove. I'll be excited to see how well he performs for us, because at least we've got the central defensive competition / cover for Partey that we need. But we still have some issues, and all I can say is that now we'd better focus on doing well in the league, and also doing as well as we can in the Europa League, because getting back into the Champions League is the first priority. Winning the league would be wonderful. It would be gravy, let me tell you. But that's the thing. We have to make sure we take every match seriously from here on in. So Arteta has a role to play, and so do the players.
Yeah, and then we'll move on to Hardy, because you have to go in a bit. So yeah, Arsenal are at the FA Cup, Man City win. What are your thoughts on the game?
You know what? First and foremost, when I was actually watching the game there, I thought it was actually a really, really intriguing game from both sides. And I think from an Arsenal perspective, you would definitely be really, really good to be out of the FA Cup. And I think throughout the 90 minutes, you were in spells the better side. But City, given their quality, given their experience, given their mentality, and given the fact that they have a really, really competent coach, absolutely elite coach, Pep Guardiola, they certainly got their foot on the gas and got the win. And personally, from your perspective, I think it might benefit you going out of the FA Cup. But a competition that he won for over 13 times, that's just absolutely magnificent. And I think to focus on the league, you've got to be consistent. And I think you guys have got to remain refocused, well rejuvenated. And with the addition of Jorginho, it will certainly refresh your legs in midfield, refresh your legs across the squad. And I think certainly with his mentality, he will have a huge influence. Arteta, I don't know why he wants Jorginho, but there's certainly a reason why, as to why he wants them to, because of his flexibility to play across the midfield as either 6, as an 8. That's so essential for him. So I think with him, it's so important to have a player of that quality in the midfield. So I think for you guys, if you were to win the league, it's about maintaining consistency, keeping fresh, hopefully not getting injuries, and also maintaining your progression, because right now you're definitely in a strong position. And if you want to win the Premier League potentially, that would be a great overachievement for Arteta in his around the 3rd season. So if you guys want to remain consistent, win the league title is so essential.
Yeah. And then Hardy, obviously you have to go as well. So thanks for making your debut. Hopefully you can get another stream, come on another stream soon. So yeah, obviously no YouTubers yet, but just shout out your Instagram or anywhere else we can find you.
Well, guys, as you don't know, and always talks football, my actual Instagram page for my Manchester United fan page is HDM United Stand. If you do want to follow me personally on Instagram, it's HS7. So feel free to give me a follow, guys. That's it.
Oh yeah. Big up, Hardy. Big up. And thanks for joining us.
You forgot to mention your Twitter account, which is absolute fire. And I enjoy following you on Twitter. Both your accounts are, by the way.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's HS7MUFC. That's what it is. All lowercase. That's where you can find me.
Yep.
Big up. See you soon. Yeah. So moving on now to Joel. Obviously, annoying loss for Arsenal. We did play well, but we lost in the end. What are your thoughts on the game?
I think it was a tight game. Like you said, some parts we were better, dominating all over them. Sometimes they were dominating. It showed two of the best teams in England right now. It was a tight game. Both teams made changes, so it wasn't. It'll be a different game in the Prem, but obviously we didn't take our chances and they did, so they won. At the end of the day, I think Nketiah needed to be a bit more clinical. I think our best player in that first half was probably Trossard, and we brought him off at half time. So that was a bit stupid. I don't know why we brought him off. To be honest, it was clear Saka wasn't having a good game. I think Saka could have had a rest, but obviously Partey coming off at half time. That for Lokonga, that had an impact because I think Lokonga, it's a good thing he's gone out on loan, so I don't think he's good at all. I think when Partey came off, we looked lost in the midfield. But it was a tight game, but we did make 6 changes. So I really wanted to win, but it's not like we played our full team and lost. At least it was our B team that lost. But I really wanted to win the FA Cup, to try and win it as a backup. If we don't win the Premier League or Europa League, get the FA Cup in, you win a trophy, and because then we're most likely going to get top 4. Then top 4 with an FA Cup, if we failed out on the Prem, would have been good. So we have to now win the Premier League or the Europa League, otherwise we go trophyless. So it puts pressure on us now to win the Prem.
Yeah. Orest, what are your thoughts on the game?
Obviously both teams played well, to be fair. Obviously see now they're really in the mud, man. They let Cancelo go. That was very, very I think there was rumors that Cancelo fell out with Pep, and apparently he had a bust. Apparently Cancelo had a fight in the training with some City players. So I don't know what's going on there. Clearly toxic. So this is what we like to see as Manchester United fans. But yeah, obviously Arsenal are out. But yeah, obviously, according to your fans, we've got bigger fish to fry. So let's see about that. Because if you don't win the league title,
Big up, Ryan.
better Ryan. Yeah.
Big up,
As I
big
said,
up.
if Arsenal wins the league, those that were DMing me when United were drawing games, they will be getting DMs when they don't win the league because they have to. There's no excuses. Oh, we ran out of debt. There's no debt because for me, 5 points clear of City. No excuses. It's literally no excuses for you not to win the league. So, yeah, man. City. Yeah, for me, I've said it before. The City are not title contenders, man. I don't see them doing anything this season.
Come on. They've still got 45 points in 20 games. That's still amazing. I think if any other team did that, they'd be considered title contenders. I think just because it's Man City and how good they've been the last few years, I don't think that changes. They're definitely a title race. That's no doubt. Obviously, no doubt about that.
Yeah. Big up, Ryan. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we were talking about the Arsenal obviously losing to Man City. It was a good game. Arsenal played well, but they unfortunately lost. Yeah, what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for bringing me in, and it's good to be here. But yeah, this game obviously was close, wasn't it? Obviously, Man City only just winning. Yeah, I think you were unlucky, to be fair. I think you probably, we expected to be kind of close. Obviously, Ake got the goal. But yeah, obviously the FA Cup, at least, I actually thought you'd win this game, and I actually thought there'd be a lot more goals in it. Actually, to be honest with you, I predicted a 3-2 Arsenal, actually, if I remember rightly. And of course that went the complete opposite way, and Man City just got over the line. But Arsenal, proved to be that big challenge and pushed them. But yeah, just that one chance, that was the only difference. I think pretty much. An even game, more or less, wasn't it, really? I mean, obviously, Arsenal didn't have many. Obviously, 2 shots on target, Arsenal had to City's 3. So it was very close. So it could have gone either way, to be fair. Of course, Man City at home, maybe that was the advantage there. But I go back to, I think Man City are in the title race, but I don't necessarily feel like they're the team they once were. And I certainly think that Man United potentially could get above them. Come the end of the season, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, I'm going off on the tangent. But yeah, good win for Man City, but Arsenal very unlucky. But you just got to go again. You just got to go again, and I'm sure you'll bounce back from this.
Yeah, and then finally, Toby. Before I get my thoughts, what are your thoughts on the game? Arsenal losing 1-0 to Man City. You there? Oh, he looks frozen. Is he frozen?
Yeah, I think it's frozen.
Toby, you're frozen. Wait.
No, what you do, man?
All right. Oh, is he back?
Oh, you just say your piece.
All right. We'll get on to him. I'll just get my thoughts. Obviously, yeah, very unlucky. Good goal for Ake hit the post, and then they obviously got the goal. And yeah, I mean, good win for that. I did want to win the FA Cup, and I thought if we win this, then we could have possibly gone all the way. But Toby's gone; he'll be back. Yeah, good win for City. I think Trossard played very well. Good full debut. He obviously, that pass to Tomiyasu could have scored his first Arsenal goal, but he didn't. But still good shot. And then obviously, another shot where the goalkeeper saved it. And yeah, I mean, bringing off the 2 substitutions, bringing on the Congo for Partey, and I think he brought off Ben. Who else did he bring off? Manny, who else did he bring off at half time?
It was Partey and
Saliba.
Yeah.
He brought on.
Rob Holding was taken off.
Rob Holding. Yeah, for Saliba, and I thought, we kind of expected to be, not the favourites because we played, we rotated our team. We changed 6 players and they only changed 2 of their team. So I think I still feel confident playing Man City in the league. I think at home we have a better chance at the Etihad, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Toby, what are your thoughts on this game?
He's on mute.
Wait, Toby, you're on mute. No, we can't hear you. Wait, he's not on mute. Oh, I can't hear him. I think he's doing something.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So Arsenal played well actually, but the truth is, Man City, they are a different class. Man City are a different opponent, if you know what I mean. So regardless, but I think in a bit, I think Arteta kind of underestimated what Man City can actually do or could do, because their creator in the midfield, which is Odegaard, he was benched. One of your best defenders, being Saliba, was on the bench. So it was more.
Yeah.
It was more or less like he on. So it was more or less
watching
like
He is watching.
He's watching.
Yeah, sorry, Tom.
AFT talks. Yeah, carry on.
All right. So it was more or less like he underestimated what City can do or could do, but overall, City won just by a lone goal. That tells you how tough, how Arsenal actually took the match. It was not easy for City. All the way. Check the stats. There's a kind of balance, equilibrium, if you know what I mean. But well, it was a fair win. But
Yeah.
Man City being Man City, they will definitely be the favorites to win. But fair enough for Arsenal. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So a shock in the for Liverpool, obviously losing 2-1 to Brighton. I actually, funnily enough, predicted this score 2-1. I just thought, last time I predicted Liverpool to win, so I thought change it around to 2-1 Brighton. I thought Liverpool would score, but then I thought, they're at home and they might win. So yeah, good win for Brighton. We'll start off with Arrest. What are your thoughts on Brighton to Liverpool 1?
Liverpool. Matoma in the end. It's just great, man. Liverpool in the mud. Yeah, Cody Gakpo in the mud. Never wanted him, by the way. I never wanted Cody Gakpo. It's terrible. But yeah, Liverpool, man, they're just struggling right now. Transfer window, they're the nightmare in the transfer window. It's great to see Klopp crying. Keep crying, mate, because you're going to get a sack soon. Because I did say before, Klopp should get sacked. His time is over. As Ten Hag said, eras come to an end. So yeah, good win for Brighton.
Yeah.
De Zerbi, what a manager, man. De Zerbi is a very, very good manager. And for him to lose, what was it? He lost Ben White, which was a key player for Brighton. He lost Ben White. He lost so many players, Basuma and other players. He's still playing the same football. And yeah, man, listen, fair play to Zerbi, man. Fair play, man. But yeah, man, big up Brighton, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Hold that. But yeah, man. Cody Gakpo.
Yeah. So we've got 5 viewers at the moment. Make sure everyone likes. We're 2 away from 1K. Let's just. We haven't gone through the comments. Let's just go through the comments. Obviously, earlier, Restock Football saying big up, mate. Me saying the delay. Don't worry about that. Big up panel money. Yeah, I've said that one out. Big up at a time. Obviously, big up Ryan in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe to Huddersfield Fan TV. And yeah, big up to Hanno. This is his new channel, Blues Corner. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that. He says, Citizens done the work good job, unlike United. City and United surely favourites. Liverpool poor. Big up as well, Hashim.
Wait, favourites for what?
For FA Cup, I think he means. It's not Ten Hag, Man City, and Liverpool fall off. IMO, they should both leave. And then finally, Liverpool should have got 3 red cards. They didn't deserve the win versus Wolves either during route to FA Cup. Fair enough. All right, we'll move on now. What are your thoughts on the game, Ryan? Obviously, kind of a shock result for Liverpool losing. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't see this as a shock really, because I think Brighton obviously have really impressed this. To be honest, I think Liverpool have been really poor this season, haven't they? So I actually thought Brighton would win this, and of course the last injury time winner, of course, pretty much last minute. And I've always loved watching Brighton play, and obviously De Zerbi, fantastic coach, come in and really implementing his ideas. He's got them playing a really good brand of football. Even though they lose players, they still manage to bring players through and still manage to replace players. Obviously, that moment, Evan Ferguson, the young player up front, is really impressive, isn't he? Really, I can't believe he's 18, but they've got a really good squad at Brighton. Actually, I really enjoyed this game, and Brighton deserved win. Liverpool, they're not the same. They need to change the manager. For me, Klopp is just time to leave. I'm afraid, Klopp. They're just not the same, and they've had a really bad season. I don't see that improving. And obviously going out the FA Cup is a massive blow to them, really, because that would have been their only hope of getting some silverware, of course. So now they've they wouldn't even have been close anyway. But you know what I'm saying, being in the cup competition, still anything's possible, of course. So and like I say, I've always loved watching Brighton play. I go back to, I think they're a great side to watch, and they have really brought a great brand of football to the Premier League since they got promoted. And it really, really is good to see a team like that really flourishing in the league. But Liverpool, massive problems, massive improvements needed from them. And a big summer ahead for them, I think.
Yeah. What was that? Obviously, moving on to Toby now. What are your thoughts on the game, Toby?
Well, like my bro Ryan said right now, I was not surprised. Nobody was surprised. Liverpool, they've not lived up to the expectations. Their performances have been shite. And Brighton outplaying them was predicted. If you know what I mean. Like Liverpool, they are really, really in disarray right now, and I think they really need to go into the transfer market, and get things right, get the right players, because I think they've added to their problems. The Gakpo signing, for instance, I think it was a panic buy because nobody knew about the Gakpo links until I think very recently. When it was assumed Manchester United wanted to get Gakpo, they got him. So I think that has added to their problems overall. And the rise of Mitoma. Mitoma was prolific. He was in the Premier League, even in cup competitions. His performance was just superb, and the goal he scored against Liverpool was just out of this world. Was it I can't remember the two defenders who he just, I don't know, he just did his magic. But Liverpool, I think that can be the right thing for Klopp to move on at this point in time, because I think his system, his style is now looking outdated and all. So it's disappointing. Liverpool used to be the best team they used to be one of the best in England, behind Man City. Even in Europe, winning the Champions League, getting to the final, play Real Madrid. That tells a lot about the team. But it's kind of disappointing and disheartening, seeing the fall of Liverpool just like that. No headway, no system. Anybody can go into Anfield, play Liverpool, and get confident that they can win. And of course, that would be the case, So I wasn't surprised. Brighton outclassed them. Mohamed Salah is nowhere to be found. It's a lot of problems in that Liverpool team right now. So that's it.
Yeah. Moving on to Joel, then obviously your brother is a Liverpool fan, so he's probably not happy with how they're doing lately. What were your thoughts on the game, Brighton winning? Did you expect Brighton to win?
I didn't watch it, but
right.
I saw the result. It's not really it's not really a shock, but I did think Liverpool would win. But obviously Mitoma's on good form, and Liverpool aren't in good form now. I mean, they're just, I don't know what's gone wrong with Liverpool. They're just not, the players that used to be unbelievable just aren't doing it anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I can't. Well, I don't really know what they should do now. I think they should keep Klopp. I think Klopp is.
Yeah.
You don't really get many man. There's not. There's barely any managers in the world better than Klopp. I don't think getting rid of Klopp's not the answer. That'll make them even worse. And if they get rid of Klopp, they might be a mid-table club now for like Arsenal were years ago, like for years. And they should keep Klopp and they should just back him with those. They should give him money to spend, try and get him. But yeah, I don't know. I think this season's done for them. To be honest, I think there's not very much hope for them anymore. Can't really see him getting top four. Can't really see him winning anything. I don't really know what's gone wrong with him, but yeah.
Yeah, but Manny, are you there?
He's sleeping.
Manny there, I don't know. Is he? All right. Well, he's yeah. My thoughts on the game, obviously. Yeah, as I said,
Wait. Money. Let's see if that likes him up. Oh, okay, never mind. Carry on, Money.
Oh wait, he's all right. Is he all right? I heard him.
You didn't hear me say
Oh,
anything.
he's here. He is. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I was just saying, Manny, what are your thoughts on this game? Brighton 2, Liverpool 1.
Liverpool, just when you thought the Liverpool season couldn't get any worse, it takes another turn. And even the signing of the World Cup, the Dutch World Cup star Cody Gakpo has done nothing. I think it's fair to say that never mind the fact that Mohamed Sané's departure has left them a little bit short, it's as if the chemistry is just lacking. There's no cohesion. All of the things that have plagued Liverpool this season have come up and just, reared their head again. And this was supposed to be an opportunity for a Brighton team that had lost yet another of its talents to, for Liverpool to certainly try and take it seriously and, shown that they meant business. And I think, to be fair, they were good for the most part, but they obviously allowed an equaliser and then to concede a stoppage time winner. If I were Jurgen Klopp, I'd be tearing my hair out. I mean, what do Liverpool have to do to get a win? Maybe they just need to completely tear everything up and start from scratch. When Andrew Robertson sums up the season saying they've gone even worse, and I think it sums it up perfectly. That's all that can be said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just get my thoughts. As I said, I predicted this game. I think it was a good game. Liverpool, they would have, as Ryan said, they would have wanted to get this win in the FA Cup because they won't get much trophies. They're mid-table. I don't think they'll win the Champions League or do well in the Champions League. They're out of the Carabao Cup, so it would have been nice for them to win the FA Cup, but no, they bottled it. And yeah, Brighton are doing well this season. I think they could probably get maybe Conference League. They might go for that, maybe top 7. I'm not sure. But no, good win for them. Whether they go on a run, they could do. We'll have to wait and see. But we kind of talked about the big games now. This is one game that's not in the Premier League. The only game that's not in the Premier League I want to talk about is Wrexham drawing 3-3 to Sheffield. I thought this was an interesting game because I did watch it and I was supporting Wrexham because they're the only non-league team still left, and it would have been interesting for them to win this game. Obviously, they're Sheffield United with a late equaliser in the end. Yeah, Ryan, did you watch the game? What were your thoughts on the game, or did you not watch it?
I did watch the game. I was very happy that I managed to catch this game because what a game it was. Wrexham, what a fantastic performance this was by Wrexham, by the way, because the way they, the way the crowd, full house, obviously great support. There was something special. But this is what the FA Cup is all about, isn't it? Seeing a club that obviously are further down in the division, Sheffield United flying championship. I feel like Wrexham, the fact they were so close to going through, I thought, what, they really did deserve to go. I feel like they deserve to go through personally. And by the way, Paul Mullin, what a player. Striker, obviously. He was everywhere. He really was everywhere. And of course, he was causing all sorts of problems to that Sheffield United defence. And the useful tool of the long throw by Wrexham too was really useful for them. But yeah, I was just really, really impressed by Wrexham. I really do think that they will be getting promotion come the end of the season in their league, that's for sure. they really have got they've got a good feeling around the club at the moment. You can see that even from watching that game. You know, the fans' reaction, obviously, you know, there's a lot of positivity, which which is nice to see in a club. That's what you want. Of course, Sheffield United, you know, very good side, like you say. Didn't give up. So they did get a sending off, didn't they? Of course, as well in this. But yeah, it was just so unfortunate because, like I say, it was in the last minute of the game. Obviously, a great finish by Sheffield United, but still, Wrexham can be proud no matter what of this performance because they came so close to winning. Of course, they do get a replay now, which will be very good for them in terms of picking up some more money for themselves. And hopefully, I really do hope they win the replay. But I can't see them winning at Bramall Lane now. But that was the best chance winning at their place. But you never know. You just never know in this game. But yeah, really, really impressive. All the plaudits for me go to Wrexham in this one, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You know, of course, it did finish 3-3, but, you know, Sheffield United showed the quality. But Wrexham, you know, the fact that they are in the conference, it's just unbelievable. You know, they have got a great squad. And I'm waffling on now, but yeah, fantastic spectacle for everybody that tuned in. And great to see.
Yeah, Manny, did you watch the game? If so, what were your thoughts?
No, I didn't see the game, and obviously, you know, when it comes to Wrexham, they're a team that you know, enjoys the FA Cup, and Arsenal fans will have. I mean, certainly the older Arsenal fans will have memories of the 1992 FA Cup when, as defending league champions, we were supposed to come in and try and do as well as we could, but we lost to them. And next season we did win the FA Cup, but we still haven't forgotten that game. You know, that was at least back in the days when the FA Cup was taken a lot more seriously. And teams like Wrexham, obviously, it's one of the nice things about a lot of these big teams going out is that we could see an unheralded team going on to do quite well. And don't rule Wrexham out just yet, because they're obviously a team which, as I said, has the history of being in the FA Cup and doing as well as they could. And I think they should, given that they were able to give Sheffield United a good game, they could very well repeat the trick. I think their fans will be up for it, and the trip to Bramall Lane will certainly be an interesting one. Certainly a good day out. The fans will be in full voice. It should be a sight to behold.
Yeah, Joel's gone there. I don't think anyone else watched the game, but Orest, you do have to go. So before you go, obviously you're playing Nottingham Forest tonight. Just obviously, what are your thoughts on the game and a quick score prediction before you have to go, and then obviously we'll shout out your socials.
Yeah, I mean, we should win this comfortable 3-0. Obviously, it's going to be a big game. Obviously, with the lineups, I'm quite happy with it because Ten Hag is going strong again. Clearly, Ten Hag wants to go to the Wembley and doesn't want to. The thing is, he doesn't like rotating up because he wants to take this. He wants to take everything seriously and he wants to win a lot of silverware. So that's he's a winner, man. He's a winner. So I do rate that. And yeah, I'm happy with the lineup. Obviously, it's good to see Sancho and Marshall back in the bench. So listen, I'm gonna go 3-0 win. We should win this. Yeah, I should be comfortable. And Wembley, here we go. And we should beat Newcastle as well. So yeah, man. Big up, fam.
Yeah, so obviously, big up. Orest is coming, always coming on. Obviously, shout out your YouTube and Instagram and Twitter or anywhere else we can find you.
Yeah, you can find me Orest Football on YouTube, Instagram Orest Football, Twitter Orest Footy, and yeah, I'm big up because I'm usually active on Twitter quite a lot. I'm looking at tweets with Hardeep and Ryan, so yeah, and others as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, big up Orest as always, regular on the channel, always joining the streams. Big up. Hopefully, see you next stream. Yeah, as he said, make sure you subscribe to Orest Talks. Yeah, big up. Make sure you subscribe to Orest Talks Football. He's just surpassed 400 subscribers. Obviously, on the road to 500 now. He's doing well there. He always gets usually around 10 guests, maybe a bit less in his streams. So yeah, big up. If anyone wants to join, we've got a few minutes left. You can join their space for another person. But yeah, we talked about many of the big games. Some other games, obviously, Derby beat West Ham 2-0. Probably won't talk about that game, but obviously, yeah, good United fans. Obviously, playing West Ham now. That was the game deciding who you're playing. Midlands Derby, Leicester beat Warsaw 1-0. Obviously, won't talk about it. It's not really a big game. Another Premier League team, Leeds, they beat Accrington Stanley 3-1. And then the final game, we could talk about this one. Obviously, Preston 0, Tottenham 3. Obviously, as Tottenham Arsenal fans, we would probably support Preston in this game, but a good win for Tottenham. Toby, what are your thoughts on this game? Do you think good win for Tottenham?
Yeah, it's a good win actually, considering the fact Tottenham they've not really been impressive in the league, and obviously they found their foot in this kind of game. Hopefully, it's gonna bring back the mojo back into the team. It's good seeing them win, obviously, and the players, the manager, they they'll take they'll take it into consideration that this should be the beginning of at least the winning run, obviously. So it's a good win for Tottenham.
Yeah. Yeah, Manny, what are your thoughts on this game, Tottenham 3-0 against Preston?
Well, they certainly needed this win, and
Yeah.
anything to provide some, happiness for their season, anything to provide them something to try and aim for will always be welcome. Could they possibly have an FA Cup run? They have a decent record as well, having won it 8 times, although the last one was 32 years ago. I think they've also had a pretty, controversial window, having let go of Matt Doherty. I'm still not too sure about the issues of him leaving. And they've got a decent replacement in Porro, and they've let a few other players go out on loan.
Yeah.
And obviously now this is probably the time that Conte sees it fit to try and trim the squad and get those players out who aren't going to get any game time under him. I still think that Conte is proving that when it comes to getting getting the best out of the talent of this club, he simply isn't the man. Too defensive, always insisting on playing 3 at the back. Why Emerson Royale deserves more game time under him, in his opinion, I will never know. His public criticism of Matt Doherty was out of order.
Exactly.
But again, at least with this win, even with some of their fringe players playing, at least they showed that they are serious about, winning the FA Cup. And we often say that beggars and borrowers can't be choosers. At least they know that with their chances of trying to get the top 4 decreasing a little bit, they know that they have to take each and every game that comes a little bit more seriously. Whether they will have a long run in this tournament, I don't know, but it'll remain to be seen. But decent win for them. At least they were able to get a big win, the goals that they wanted from Son and forth. And I think they can be happy with that.
Yep. So Joel, Toby, don't leave just yet. They have to leave, but I'll shout out their social before they have to go. Toby, thanks for coming on. Obviously, no YouTube as yet, but shout out your Instagram or anyone else we can find you.
Yeah, obviously on Instagram, MUFC Global. That's where you can find me actually. Yeah.
Yeah, big up Toby. And Joel, where can we find you on Instagram?
Joe_D03 on Instagram. That's it.
Yeah. So big up, guys. Follow them on Instagram. Obviously, as said, MUFC Global on Instagram. Big up Toby and Joel _D. Sorry, I don't know it. DO3, as he said earlier. But yeah, big up, guys. Thanks for joining. As people are leaving now, we're probably going to end. Yeah, big up. We're going to end soon, but we talked about all the Premier League games. So let's. So Arsenal early kickoff for playing Everton. We could do a quick preview. Manny, obviously, what are your thoughts on this game, and give us your score prediction as well.
Oh, this is going to be interesting because here's the thing. I actually was invited to come on a stream where they were discussing, the Everton versus Arsenal game, and I remember, alluding to this when I was hosting a podcast in place of Del Boy, and I was talking about the Everton game. Yeah, and this is going to be Sean Dyche's first game, and Dyche actually believe it or not, has a pretty good record against Arteta. I believe he's beaten Arteta home and away.
Oh, wow. What, for Burnley?
Yes. So, Yeah, so I'm just going to take a look at this particular website to talk about the record that he has. And the thing about Everton is that they had to get rid of Frank Lampard. It just had to happen. And I'm just glad that, it was something that happened sooner rather than later. But the only question is, will there be any kind of a sort of managerial bounce? It will remain to be seen. But, I take a look at the Everton team as well, and I certainly see a team which, has some really good quality players and some good consistent internationals, including, of course, England's number one, Jordan Pickford. But as a collection of individuals, they say the whole is greater than the sum of their parts. They just couldn't, they just couldn't come together as a team. And in fact, in 5 games that Dyche has played against Arteta, his record is played 5, won 1, drawn 3, and only lost 1. So it's a win-loss record of 1-1 and a success rate of, it's actually a pretty good rate, winning rate, because out of 15 points, he's taken 3 and 6, but he's denied Arsenal, obviously, 12. He's denied them about at least 7 points. So he obviously knows how to set up a team against Arsenal. The only question is, does he have the players at Everton to potentially do that? He is going to have a few of his Burnley old boys in the Everton team, and they probably will respond well to him. I mean, I'm thinking of the likes of Tarkowski and McNeil. He will enjoy working with Connor Cody and try and bring out the best in him. I think I had high hopes for Cody when he went on loan to Everton and thought that he would really do a good job there. But I think it's fair to say that in some recent matches, he's proven why, despite being continually being picked for England, he doesn't get to play for them in the tournaments. And there is so much talent over there. Ex-gunner Alex Iwobi, Onana in the midfield, Gray up front, and they've lost, obviously, Anthony Gordon to Newcastle, but getting Mopé from Brighton also should have helped them. So they do have enough players to, do well, but they just haven't gelled well as a team. And I think with Dyche, you're going to see a sort of a back-to-basics approach, and certainly an approach which is more focused on defense. But Dyche will also have to make sure he gets the team scoring goals, because the reason why Burnley ended up getting relegated and Dyche ended up getting sacked before they got relegated was that the goal scorers in his team, the likes of Wood, Barnes, etc., simply weren't scoring any goals. So, it will remain to. So how he works with the likes of Gray and Mopé and company will certainly, decide how well he does. And of course, I'm really glad that Ryan is here, because obviously getting the likes of Matt Loughton and others from Burnley who have worked under Dyche, I'm sure right now, given your own issues, you wouldn't mind having Dyche at the John Smith Stadium, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Anybody over this guy in charge, my thoughts on him, man. But yeah, I would love to see Dyche, but of course, just too expensive for us. We don't go down that experience route. But yeah, I would have loved to see him at the club. But
yeah. But with Dyche, I mean, he's obviously a more palatable alternative to Sam Allardyce. So it's going to be an interesting game, and how we end up breaking down Dyche's team will remain to be seen. But again, once a manager gets sacked, you do see that bounce. Could we be the victims of that? This is going to be a real test of our vigilance, especially in lieu of our FA Cup exit.
Yeah. But, Manny, what was your score prediction for this game then?
It should be a game where I think we will concede a goal. I think Dyche will have them fired up, but we should have enough firepower in our arsenal, pun intended, to win. And I would say 3-1. And Ollie, you know that whenever I predicted a draw, we've gone on to win. And whenever I predicted a win, we've gone on to win by an even bigger margin. So I'm continuing that trend. It should be a 3-1 win. The only problem is, will there be some changes to the lineup? Will there be some players who will be given a rest? I know that Thomas Partey had to have a scan as a precaution, given the slight rib injury he picked up against Manchester City, but he should be back. Will we see Jorginho coming in? I think the paperwork should be done by then.
Bench, maybe.
Hopefully hopefully we should see Jakub Kivior being given a possible debut, maybe at least as a substitute to sort of see how well he can hack it. And someone like Trossard can come on as a sub. And yeah, again, it'll probably be, if I were to sort of pick my lineup, now it might be a bit too premature. We'll see Ramsdale back in goal, Zinchenko and White as the fullbacks. We probably will end up returning to Gabriel and Saliba as the starting centre backs, but I actually could see Jakub Kivior coming in for either one of those two in the second half. And midfield, as it were, Odegaard, Partey, and Xhaka. But again, if Partey isn't fit, Jorginho can slot right in. And then, of course, it will be Martinelli and maybe Saka and Nketiah. But the thing that worries me is that if Saka does look a bit tired, we might have to consider possibly asking Reece Nelson to do a job for us, especially with Marquinhos no longer with us.
Yeah.
So that's potentially what I'm looking at with the Everton game.
Yeah, moving on to Ryan, and then I'll get my thoughts, and we'll probably end there because we've passed the hour mark and we've been on for a while. So yeah, Ryan, what are your thoughts on the game and a quick score prediction?
Yeah, obviously, Manny, as always, you always cover it very nicely. It's always hard to follow you, Manny, because you say everything that maybe I'm thinking. But like I say, I echo those. But obviously, new manager Sean Dyche coming in, really good appointment by Everton, and certainly feel like they have more of a chance of staying now, especially with him in charge. Of course, he has got a good track record of keeping teams up, like he did with Burnley, and for many years he kept them up, unbelievably, really. So I feel like the fans, of course, we've seen how toxic it's been at Goodison Park, over the last few weeks, months, whatever. But I think that this will be totally different because they will be up for this game and they will be a lot more positive because of the situation. The owners have acted ruthlessly and they've got in a new manager. There'll be a bit of excitement around the place, even though they are in the situation they're in. So Arsenal can't rest on their laurels here and think that Everton are struggling, which they are. They've had a really bad season yet again, but you can't do that because we've seen the manager bounce, and I just think that Arsenal will still have too much for Everton. I think that Sean Dyche will get them playing in a way that is a lot better than what they've seen the Everton fans over the last over recent times. But I still think it's too far for them to get a result here against Arsenal, of course. But going forward, they won't be really targeting games like Arsenal to pick up the points where they'll stay. Of course, it would be nice to get a point for them against Arsenal. Will be a big result for them. But what I'm saying to you is this isn't going to determine if they stay up or not, of course. Arsenal, obviously will be looking to, to kick on again, especially after losing the cup, and obviously wanted to maintain that winning run in the league. But I just think that, the likes, if Jorginho does have to come in, you've still got a player there that will be really beneficial and really important. And I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans not happy about this sign, but I don't really understand why, because this guy has got experience, he's a good backup. And I don't necessarily feel that comfortable. Obviously, I know you wanted Caicedo, but I don't necessarily feel comfortable with the fact that they was prepared to pay obviously they got a few bids rejected. Why was he paying that for a backup anyway, which he was going to be a backup? He seemed very silly to me. So you have got a player in Jorginho who will come in, do a job, and is experienced, and and he really will, and at a bargain price too. And Manny, I can see you've got something to say, but.
Yeah, I think the reason why people were angry, Ryan, is because obviously with Caicedo, they saw a player like Mudryk, of course, who was quite young and who certainly would be a part of the team for the future. And obviously, when it comes to a lot of these younger players, you're seeing it right now with Fernandes, who's come in to replace Jorginho, ironically, that, he is young. He's definitely the future World Cup winner. Early 20s, what's not to like? And as for Jorginho, let's not forget that until recently he was Chelsea's vice captain. So why would Chelsea be so quick to allow him to walk away, especially given that Azpilicueta's best days are long gone and Thiago Silva is still doing really well, but still definitely in the wrong side of his 30s, pushing on 40. They would have wanted Jorginho to stay for a little bit longer. I think they saw in Jorginho a person whose returns had started to diminish a little bit, and maybe they felt a new challenge would be the best for him. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind him. I think he was magnificent for Italy in Euro 2020, and he certainly, has the quality to do a decent job. We've been crying out for someone to compete with / cover for Thomas Partey, and it shouldn't. My issue is that if we had found someone like him, I think the idea is that when we miss out on something, we somehow get another thing. It's like, God closes one door, opens up another. And by some coincidence, we end up spending much less money than what we would have spent for our original targets. But the problem is, it's still in some ways a little bit amateurish to put all your energies into signing one player and then, seeing someone available who might fit the bill. I mean, what sort of scouting are you doing? Why didn't you put your energies on Jorginho earlier on? If you believe in your heart that he's really the type of person who would do a good job for you, why not consider him from the very beginning? So there are a lot of things that just don't make sense. I mean, I'm happy to back him. I think he is good, decent quality. I'm pretty certain that he's not going to be like a few other ex-Chelsea players who come to Arsenal because they want to stay in London and then end up not giving their best performances because their best performances are, some way behind them. But, it might be a short-term deal. It's definitely until the end of next season. I don't see him wanting to stay on with us. He might end up moving on. If we can get some decent performances out of him, then, I suppose it's money in some ways well spent. But, sometimes you've got to have some clarity if you're Arsenal Football Club about the type of players you want and the type of strategy you're looking for. You can't sell us a horse and deliver us a donkey by promising a long-term vision and then ending up getting players who will do a job in the short term, but who may not necessarily be in the long term. That's one of the reasons why many Arsenal fans are worried. Jorginho is decent quality. He might just be, getting on a little bit perhaps. But given the choice between him and N'Golo Kante, whose legs have definitely gone, I'd take Jorginho. So not too bad.
Yeah, fair enough. And I understand. And of course, I think Chelsea was so happy to let Jorginho go because Enzo Fernandez ended up coming in. Of course, Jorginho would become a backup, and obviously it wouldn't really be, So I don't really know, but yeah, a good point. Fair enough. I get what you're saying. But yeah, for me, just a quick score prediction because I've kind of said what I need to say about us. Arsenal and Everton in this game. But for me, I think Arsenal will win this. I don't see Everton scoring, to be honest. I don't. So I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I don't think it's going to be too high scoring, but I think Everton will put up a good fight, but they'll just come too unstuck in this one for me.
Yeah. Manny 3-1 Arsenal, Ryan 2-0. I'll just get my thoughts and then obviously we've been on for a while, so we'll end it there. But I do think this will be quite an easy game. Obviously they are at home though, and new manager, so it might be quite hard. But I fancy us to win. There seems to be positive news with Jesus, so he might be coming back soon. Hopefully for the Man City game. That's the only thing I want really, for him to come back for that, to play against his former team. But I do think we'll play the same lineup. Obviously, as Manny said, I think we'll play Ramsdale in goal, left back Zinchenko, right back Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel. And obviously, we could bring a debut for the new centre back. Then Partey and Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, and then Martinelli, and obviously Nketiah up front. I don't know if Gabriel is just ready yet, and possibly bring on Trossard, maybe see Jorginho and our new centre back on the bench, which will be interesting. But yeah, it's going to be a good game, and obviously now we're at the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, we do want to focus on the league and start winning these games. So we need to win the easy games like this game, and then obviously we've got a few tough games coming up. Like we still got to play City twice, still got to play Newcastle away, still got to play Liverpool, Anfield, and yeah, so it's going to be tough. But I think I agree with Ryan. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. Although that Pickford is a good goalkeeper, their defense isn't the best, and I see us keeping a clean sheet in this game. I don't think Everton have any threatening players who would score, so I'm going with I probably agree with Ryan 2-0. I think maybe a cheeky goal for Nketiah, and then maybe a goal for Saka or Odegaard. But I do fancy us in this game, and we need to start getting those wins up because we're out of cups, and Europa League and League is our main focus now. We need to win this game, keep it game by game, and obviously, yeah, hopefully. But yeah, that's it really. Obviously, a score update on the Man United game. They're drawing 0-0. That's probably why Orest and Toby wanted to leave to watch the game. But yeah, we'll end it now. We haven't got many viewers. Maybe people are watching the game, but hopefully you will have a good weekend. Obviously, yeah, Premier League is back, and any rugby fans, Six Nations will be happening. So come on, Wales. Hopefully, well, I'm half Welsh, so I'm supporting Wales, but I do support England in football. And yeah, 0-0 currently Man United. And yes, hopefully Arsenal can get the win on the weekend. And for Ryan, hopefully Huddersfield. Who are you playing Huddersfield on the weekend, Ryan?
I've got QPR and I'm dreading it, so I don't really necessarily feel like winning is a word about vocabulary at the moment. But yeah, we're not going to get into that. But yeah,
yeah, because you lost against Coventry, so you do want to get a win against QPR. Are you going to the game at home?
Yeah, I've got a season ticket, so I do go to the. Yeah, I've got.
Oh, you got a season. Do you ever go to any away games or?
Yeah, I go regular to away
games.
Yeah, I've only missed a couple this season, but I'm very much a regular around the away game.
Yeah, so you will want to keep an eye on the whole Cardiff game because hopefully you'll get out of the relegation zone if they lose that and you win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barnsley are being Oxford in League One. Anyone wants to know about that? But yeah, that's it, guys. I just want to big up Toby who joined this. I think it's his third appearance. Big up Hardy earlier who made his debut on the channel. Big up Joel who joined earlier as well, and big up Orest as well from Orest Talks Football. Yeah, before we go, obviously, guys, shout out your socials. Start off with Ryan. Where can we find you on YouTube and Instagram?
Yeah,
and
so
maybe Twitter.
Yeah, of course. You can find me on my YouTube, of course, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Plenty of content coming from me. Very regular content. I try and keep it, obviously, match previews, reviews. Fan cams coming on Saturday. Yeah, back with my live streams as well. Obviously, doing my live shows now, which is great to be back. Obviously, tonight, first one back. So, yeah, stay tuned for those. You can follow me on my socials, HTFTVA on Instagram. And Twitter, but yeah, big up for having me, and it's always a pleasure to come football. But yeah, cheers.
Yeah, big up. And then yeah, finally, Manny, where can we obviously no YouTubers of yet, but where can we find you also on Instagram and Twitter?
Yeah, on Instagram you can find me at Manny Thangatherai 1981, which is my full name and my year of birth. You can also find me on Twitter at Thangatherai 1981, which is my surname and my year of birth. And on YouTube, obviously, you can find me on several channels: Delboy Gunner TV, SVTLY TV, Orest Talks Football, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollope, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Up the Cherries in all departments, the Bournemouth fan channel, and other channels like, big up to you as well, Ollie, for having me on.
Yep.
Bailey Francis as well. I've done a couple of 3 streams with him. Really good fella. And big up to Ryan. I hope to do some more work with him as well in the coming weeks, maybe. And there are several other people who I just aren't able to... I'm not able to mention right now because their names aren't in my head, but I have gone on their channels as well, done a few streams with them, so they're quite close to me. If I don't mention you, you are important to me, and I will try and send you a check in the post if I can. But in any case, it's wonderful to come on YouTube and just discuss football with like-minded fans who love the game. It's not about being tribal about the teams we love. It's about respecting the game that we all love and also just contributing to that while, just expressing our thoughts, resolving our differences, and just enjoying the game as fans, really, and respecting one another. So, always good to come on YouTube and talk. Thanks a lot to Ollie again. And to all of you who've been watching the stream, it's people like you who make the channels and do really well. So thank you all. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your Wednesday night. Have a good rest of your week. Stay safe. Stay happy. Don't do anything that Ryan, Ollie, or I wouldn't do. And for now, you can see that I'm tired and I am out.
Yeah,
you are certainly out for the count.
Yes, big up Manny, and yeah, big up everyone who joined us. I've said Manny, Ryan, Joel, Orest, Hardy making his debut, and Toby as well. Bailey was supposed to join today, but he didn't message me back. Yeah, but that is it for the stream. I just want to shout out my socials, of course. You can find me here on DJ SINCLAIRO. Just a few things. Make sure you like this stream. If you're watching on a replay, make sure you like it and subscribe. If you are new, please subscribe. We are 3 away from 1,040. I'm trying to get to 1,100. And obviously, the main aim by the end of the year, we should get it 2K, hopefully. And then, yeah, make sure you watch back some of my videos. My public watch hours has gone down really low. We need to get 4,000 to be monetized. So, yeah, just watch them back, whatever, put in the background on mute. And yeah, on other platforms, you can find me Ollie on Instagram, ollie.sinclair556 is my main account, my personal account. You can message me on there if you want, and follow me, and I'll follow you back. I've hit over 500, obviously on the road to 1K now. That's my big aim, but 600, obviously the next aim. And then on my fan page, you can find me Aaron_Ramsdale fan page 1. You can also find me on, I'm no Twitter as of yet, but you can find me on other socials. TikTok Ollies at 556 as well. So any other socials, like, I won't say my Snapchat. You can find me there. Just DM me if you want my Snapchat, and any other social medias. But yeah, that's it. Obviously, big up everyone. Not sure when the next stream will be. Probably a review of game week 20. Sorry, game week 20. And yeah, big up everyone. Obviously, hopefully Arsenal get the win. United as well, and hopefully Huddersfield as well. But no, big up everyone. Next stream will probably be next week. And good luck for your teams in the weekend. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
Time you stay for me. Outside we lose, we give them chills. We ain't the same, buddy. Cold when the sun goes down. I hit my blunt. I'm glad you came.